Can we have Sharks and the Scorpions women's team to the clubhouse, please? The Sharks men and the Scorpions women to the clubhouse. Ivan and the Scorpions women team, can we get you to the clubhouse, please? Josh Davison. Can we get the Sharks team up to the clubhouse if you can? Thank you. Charlie Fetu. Just looking for Mike Hanley if he's around. Mike? Just looking for Jack Besgrove. Who are we missing? Oh, Darren. Where's Darren? He's in. He's on his way. Jack will come up, I'm sure. Oh, that noise is good. The wind's good. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to this, the presentation for the 2023 Macarthur Fast Pitch Shootout. It's been 21 years since we've held this event, and it is great to have you back here at Softball Macarthur. Many of you would know that we've had significant flooding, and only a number of months ago, the floodwaters were above this balcony, and the fields were decimated. I just want to offer a few thanks, in particular, an acknowledgement of traditional owners of the land and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, particularly on today, acknowledged both in the men's and women's game, the real powerhouse that First Nations people have had in our game, and we saw that on display today. Can I also acknowledge that Nidra Hill, OAM, who this centre is named after, is present today. Will you please welcome Nidra to the venue? Thank you very much. An amazing member of softball, was coaching her T-ball team and her women's team only yesterday afternoon. So Nidra, it is wonderful to have you here. Will you please join with me as well to thank, we had a fairly small but active committee. This would not have happened, I've got to say, as the tournament director without Peter Wards. So will you please thank Peter Wards by a huge round of applause, and continue that round of applause for Craig Malcolm, who was outstanding and can't be with us this afternoon because he's with his son, but just were remarkable. Thank you to many others. I also just want to thank, and they're just down here, Paul Cameron is the Vice President of our association. He's just over there, right at the back net. Paul and your team, you can't be humble because what you've pulled off in the last 3 days is superb. So a huge round of applause for Paul and his team. Thank you very much. Can I thank the executive from Softball Macarthur for taking the opportunity and working with the committee and supporting it in a number of ways. And in particular the Camden Council, the Mayor, Councillor Ashley Cagney, and also the councillors, long-serving councillor as well, Eva Campbell, who's been a long-time supporter, but the full council, they have invested hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars into this venue over the last 9 to 10 months. And also thank you to the New South Wales Government, who have provided a significant amount of support through the Flood Recovery Program and the Community Builders Program. One of the highlights of this event has been that after 21 years of having a clubhouse that's been quite empty, it is now fully functional and well fitted out. So please, we put our hands together for those community partners as well. We know as softballers, as some of us short-term, many of us long-term people, I have to call this out. The cooperation between Softball Australia and Softball New South Wales, from both of the chairs and the CEOs, both Rosie Williams and Sarah Lowe at Softball Australia and Stuart Clark. We can be critical at times about leadership, as we have been over the decades. They have been superb. They really have. They have worked in absolute partnership and have supported the event in unimaginable ways, to the point that we were meeting every 2 weeks in the first 4 months about this, and there was never the answer of no. Even when we sort of said, can you pull out all of the World Cups and all of the national championships? They got them, they sent them up, and I know really the magic happens in associations, not at head office, but I can't thank both the chairs and the CEOs enough. And if that's where we're going as we head into LA in 2028 and hopefully Brisbane in 2032, then that might be a really positive step. So please join with me to thank both the national and state bodies. We had a number of people on a Zoom earlier on this year in the first quarter, and we really said, we're not sure that we can do this or if this is what the players want. Lang Harrow was someone that sort of considered the idea to start with, gave some really strong advice. But the key to this is you've got to get the players. But I will say, and the reason I've got our outstanding technical team is you cannot run an event with international teams and international caliber players without world-class technical skills. And I just want to thank, and in particular, because they all came back, and we were really careful and wanted to have the original team back from our 2000, 2001 and 2002 events. So please, It's not just for this event, but for Liz Hanley and Mike Hanley, our co-chief statisticians. Decades of service to our game. Thank you very much for coming back. To Tricia and Darren Cybra, just phenomenal. They've been here since the beginning. They're here all the time, and again, just bring so much depth of knowledge. So to both of you, I know everyone will just thank you for all the work you've done, but it is a pleasure and a privilege, so thank you. Also on our umpiring management crew, Daryl Shepherd, who was probably the state director umpire for about 20 years, but again has been around and done so many tournaments. Daryl joined us, and alongside and in absentia, Andy Rhineflesh, who is our tournament chief umpire and has been watching and following, and we know that his health has really improved in the last couple of days, and we send our love and our wishes to the Rhinefleshes. But it was wonderful to have Tricia and Daryl as the deputies and Andy as our TCU. So to Sue, I know that you're there. Adam I saw before. We send love and wishes to Andrew, and we're so glad that things are looking positive. So let's send Andrew a big round of applause and send our love and care. So can I just thank our technical team again? That is wonderful. We could thank all the teams, but I've got to say to Singapore and our friends from the Philippines, thank you so much for coming. To have that international angle in our men's division is just very, very special, and brought something very. It was great to watch. It's great for kids to watch. It's great for politicians to see just how great our game can be. And I want to acknowledge the work of Zenon Winters, who worked incredibly hard with his contacts through Asia, and spent hours on meetings really trying to make that happen. So to Zenon as well, but to Singapore and the Philippines, thank you very much for coming and joining us at the tournament. I think from the first time slot on Friday, we knew that we had leading officials. And the minute the 4 umpires walked out onto the field, and we had full complements of really national and international scorers and statisticians, we knew that this tournament was in really good hands. So you please thank as well, not only the leadership team, but all of the officials, the scorers, and the umpires who contributed to make this a success. We've tried really hard to do some things out of the box. It was really a case of let's throw everything at the wall to see what we do. Some things work, some things don't, and that's okay. I think it's absolutely fine to do that. One of the things we were very keen to do was to get, given that we've won so many World Cups, all the way back to 1965, but it's been a wonderful 15 years, to have almost all of those trophies here in the clubhouse and the National Championship Shields. I want to thank Denise Meredith and Tanya Earl, who actually had to sign to look after those. They've looked after them incredibly well. So to Denise and Tanya, will you please thank them as well for working so much. They've travelled all over Sydney and taken orders from Melbourne, and to really take care of that. So thank you very much. Our final, just a thank you before we get into the awards, can I thank we were very keen to make sure that kids fell in love with the game like we all do. So to Heather Mill, who is a long-term Macarthur member, she coordinated all of those wonderful bat kids. So to the teams, thanks for looking after them, but can we thank all of the bat kids and Heather for her coordination around that. So let's get into the awards. We've got, you know that we've tried really hard. We were rapt to have women. I think it's been a really big shift to start with 4 women's teams to join the men in what was a men's tournament, because things were different obviously after Atlanta and then heading into Sydney with the Olympics. But we loved having both. So we've got categories for men's and women's on that. We're going to share this trophy. We've also got some other presentations to make. If you weren't sure, the winners from both of today's games will take home $3,000 each. So the champion teams take home $3,000. The runners-up will take home $1,500, and third place will take home $250. So thank you as well, and thank you to Softball Macarthur for sponsoring that event and putting that money up. It's a really positive thing for sport. So let's move into the individual awards, and then we will do the team awards and draw this afternoon to a close. We're going to start with the batting award, and the batting award is actually named after a gentleman called Barry Sullivan, who was one of the original coaches here in the 1980s, and I'm really proud to say that Barry is with us this afternoon. So I'm going to ask Barry to come out on the balcony. My first rep coach, actually, and Barry Sullivan's an amazing man. The coach, men's and women's, but just a great guy, and Barry, so good. We lost the plaques in the floods, so we will redo those. But Barry, I'm so glad that you're going to be able to present and shake hands to our batting awards winners. From Tropics, and all of the statistics will be on our website because we've kept really good historical data on there. So I won't go through the numbers today, but the batting award, the Barry Sullivan batting award in the men's division goes to Jamie Sheehan from Tropics. you, Jack. I'm going to lose my spot. In the women's event, stay there, stay there. In the women's, from the Sandlot sisters, Brianna Trim. And we'll get you to stay out there. In 2001, we decided to name the Pitching Award after probably the most influential coach in Australian pitching history. So you please welcome, and I just, things line up, and I think in this tournament they've lined up. Back from New Zealand, will you please welcome Charlie Fetu. I'm just so excited when I found out you were back this weekend. So Charlie has just influenced hundreds and hundreds of people, and I said to him today, not only for pitching, but he made them better people. So Charlie, great to have you back, and Sandra, lovely to have you at the park as well. In the pitching for the men, what a year he's had, and we're so lucky, aren't we, to have such a richness in pitching depth in Australia. But will you please congratulate Jack Besgrove for winning the Charlie Fetu Pitching Award for the 2023 Shooter. And for the women, will you please welcome and congratulate Kaya Parnaby. Well done. We're going to move to the MVP because we do have a special award that comes after this, but we really want to highlight today. I'm going to ask my father, Brian Long, to come out. My dad, I had this idea that we would do this tournament in 1999. My dad and my mum, they ran it. And he actually suffered a really serious injury at the 2001 event. But I am really, really grateful that he will come and present the MVP award. And I just want to thank you for what you did. And this time I didn't tell them until the last minute that we were doing this, because they just needed to come and enjoy it. So I'm lucky to have amazing parents. Our MVPs, from the men's event from Sharks, really one of our all-time greats, already into a Hall of Fame, many, many more to come. Please congratulate Andrew Kirkpatrick. Absolutely amazing. In the women's, Olympian, and a really long connection to the tournament through her dad, but you please congratulate our MVP in the women's event, Tamika Whitefield. So we're going to move on. We're going to get everybody to stay here with our special guest. I'm going to keep this quite brief because there's been so much said. I was quite embarrassed to throw that first pitch this morning, but in that game that Adam and I played in, I had the opportunity to pitch to Michael Gibson. And one of the things in our group, and it was Craig Malcolm who said, we need to do something for Gibbo. And he really led that work, and Craig can't be here, as I mentioned before, because he's with his son this afternoon. But we actually have a catching award. We've named that the Michael Gibson Shield. Steve and Robin are here. Steve is, for those that don't know, Michael's dad. Robin is Michael's younger sister. We miss him dearly, and I know that you both do. So I'm going to ask Steve and Robin to both come out. And I know that you'll give them a very warm round of applause. It is great to have you back. No, we're going to present this in a minute, but for the catching award to be presented by Steve Gibson and Robin in the men's competition, the catcher for this tournament winning the first ever Michael Gibson Award from Singapore, Joshua Tan. And in the women's division, we're very proud because it's someone who's local, but someone who's taken that opportunity to switch positions because of injury. Absolutely world class. Will you please congratulate Gabby Plain? It's wonderful. And I'm going to welcome Steve Gibson to the microphone. Steve was the manager of the Bankstown Bandits team that won the shootout in 2001, and I'm going to hand over to Steve to say a few words.
Thank you, Mark. The Gibson family are very honoured to be presenting this award today. We'd like to thank Macarthur Softball Association for creating it, and I'd like to thank Barry Rumsey from Watley Trophies for donating the plaque for this award. From what we could see today in the competition, it was of very high quality, and it's always hard yakka out there battling out for 3 days. And I just hope you all enjoyed the tournament, and congratulations to the winners and the runners-up. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. So we'll get some more photos, and then Matt's going to get those. Matt's worked for 3 days. He's a professional photographer and hasn't charged a cent. And all those photos you're seeing on Facebook are from Matt. Can you put your hands together while he's taking? And Matt, thanks for all that work. We're going to announce all-star teams, but we're going to do that online later this week. We've sort of got those results, but we're mindful of the weather and that people need to travel, so we will have those all-star teams. We've been really mindful since the beginning to keep records of the tournament as much as we can. I'm going to ask the champion teams to come out, and we will. What we will do, we will start. Who got first? Only because they're closer to the door. We're going to start with the women. Scorpions have a really rich history of this tournament. They played in 2 finals in the men's division. They played in the 2002 final. They are the only Australian club team to represent at the ISC World Tournament in 2003 in Kimberley, Wisconsin. And this year, as we were working together, the men's team travelled to the Skins, but it was great to have the Scorpions women's teams here, and they are the successful champions for 2023. So please put your hands together for the Scorpions team, and then I know one of the team members is going to say a few words. We're going to get them out on the balcony, and then we will present the trophy, but we'll do that to both teams. And I'm going to hand over to Ivan to say a few words as the winning coach.
Firstly, I'd like to thank the Macarthur Association for all the sorry. Now the wind wants to blow. The correspondence we've had to get this thing happening for the women and that, and there's so many people I'd like to thank for it happening. First being Longy, thanks very much. You're our go-to guy, what was happening. All them little bat kids that we had over the weekend, perfect, absolutely perfect. The games, all the teams we played against, thank you so much. It's awesome. I'm trying to be a part of keeping softball alive, and it's our numbers are dying. So, thank you so much to everybody, and to the team we played in the final, Sandlot Sisters. Thank you very much, and that doesn't mean I appreciate all the 2 other teams we played against, and to my team. Thank you so much for all the commitment that we put in to get here. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
So if we can get your captain to stay behind, and then we will get a photo together. We'll get some other photos downstairs, so we'll go with that. So we'll get the team to pop in after the photos. One of our traditions at the tournament is that the winning teams, their shirt is framed and hung on the wall of champions, and that will be sorted within sort of about the next week and a half. They're ready to go, so we look forward to that. I'm going to ask the captain to stay, or whoever's going to receive the trophy, and the rest of the team to head inside. So as Scorpions make their way off the balcony, it is with great pleasure to ask the winning men's team to return. The Victoria Point Sharks Sporting Club have sponsored softball in the Redlands area for a long, long time. Sharks were our inaugural winners in 2000 and have done a wonderful job today. Just as a point of history, two of those players from the 2000 team, Josh Davison was the coach this year, and somehow Jason Nathan is still playing and doing a remarkable job. So please put your hands together and welcome our men's champions, Sharks from Queensland.
Thanks for everyone for coming. What a great tournament, Mark. We have many fond memories of this diamond 20 years ago, and to come back here this weekend is just a pleasure. And thanks to you, you're putting fast pitch softball in the Macarthur community back on the map. Thanks to the ground crews. What an effort. After like a Armageddon last night, I didn't think we'd get back here in the morning, but just the hard work of the ground crews, thank you very much. To the canteen crews, to the umpires, the scorers, and to the crowd, thank you. And to these guys, very easy team to coach, and we're very proud to have our name on the trophy a second time. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Josh. We're going to ask someone from your team and the representative from Scorpions to come out and collect the trophy. We'll just get that. Matt's going to get that photo. Well done. And we'll get the representative from Shark and the representative from Scorpions to come and take a photo together with the shootout trophy. Most of you will know Jason Nathan, but this is Frex, who won the tournament in 2000, still played for Australia. It's wonderful. And of course, Nikki from Scorpions. So we'll let you grab the trophy and get a photo with Matt, and we'll get some other photos downstairs. Well done. So that really almost draws our tournament to the conclusion. A couple of things. And we thank everybody that was involved. All of the volunteers, there's people working everywhere, the committee members and people on other working groups and everywhere you can possibly imagine. And can I finally just thank the teams, and particularly the officials who really navigated how to put this together and how to find a way to start it. So that is really it. I will ask one sort of daggy question, if you can possibly help. Some people have to go. We actually have to. All of the temporary fencing was paid for by the council. It comes out. If you've got a little bit of top, we actually have to take the shade cloth off that. There might be some Macarthur players around that aren't travelling that are able to do that. If you've got half an hour, that would be great. And we wish everyone else a very safe trip home. Good afternoon.